I'm going to do an example of finding the area of this trapezoid, and then I will give you one to try. So we need to do base, big base plus little base. So that's the first thing we want to do. So if I look at this, the bases have to be parallel to each other. So that's going to be this 5 and this 9. So I want to do base plus base. I'm just going to write it out and then do it. Times the height. The height has to make a 90-degree angle with the bases. So that's going to be the 6. There is no number here, but if there was, it would be there to throw you off. And then when you're done with this, you divide the entire answer by 2. Okay, so let's do this out. So 9 plus 5 is 14. Now I'm going to do 14 times 6. So that is 24, carry the 2, so 84. And then divide that number by 2, so the whole thing divided by 2. So my answer is going to be 42 feet squared. Always put a 2 over the label because you're dealing with 2 dimensions at all times. Okay, so it's big base plus little base. They have to be parallel to each other. Times the height. The height has to make a 90-degree angle with your bases. And then once you do that, divide the entire answer by 2. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys one of these to try. Start with the one on the back of your notes, though, because I actually forgot to do that. So when you flip over your notes, there's one already done for you. So add the 2 bases. Remember, they have to be parallel to each other. And then multiply it by the height, and then divide it by 2. So try the one on the back of your notes first. Okay, so I'm going to have you try these 2. I wrote the formula on the side here. So little base plus big base. Remember, they have to be the 2 lines that are parallel to each other. So little base plus big base times the height. The height has to make a perpendicular or 90-degree angle. And then divide the whole answer by 2. So I'm going to have you try both of these problems. So pause and do both of them. Show all your work. All right, let's try one that's on a grid. So you have to figure out what the bases and the heights are. So this here and this here are going to be my 2 bases because they're parallel to each other. This is 1 square long. This is 2 squares long. Now I need a height. Remember, the height has to be perpendicular, has to be a 90-degree angle. So I have to start at one point where I can go straight from the bottom all the way to the top. Okay, so it's going to draw my height there. I can't do this because this is slanted, same as that. I'm going to count my squares. Even if the entire square isn't filled in, it's the lines that you're counting. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, now I have every number that I need. I have my 2 bases and I have my height. So my formula is add the big base with the little base, so 2 plus 1. Multiply it by the height. Height is 6. Divide the entire answer by 2. Yeah, what's happening? I don't know. Okay, so let's try this one. So 2 plus 1 is 3 times 6 is 18. And then 18 divided by 2 is 9. And then we're going to write 9 units squared. So U with a 2 over it. Okay? So I'm going to give you one of these to try. So you're going to have to figure out what the bases and the height are and then solve it. This is going to be the last one. So let me give you one of these to try. Okay? See if you can figure this one out. So your 2 bases have to be parallel. So that means this would be a base and this would be a base. So count how many squares it is. So you know what the 2 bases are. Your height has to make a 90-degree angle. So the bottom is actually going to be the height because this is a slant. So you can't use that. So once you figure out what your bases are and what your height is, do base 1 plus base 2 times the height, divide the whole answer by 2. Okay, so try this last one.